YouTube Nation, what is up? Eagles Truth here with you, and just here in my office, figured I'd get out a video real quick. Look, there's two types of people when the Eagles are doing terrible in preseason, and let's be honest, the offense has been terrible this offseason. Two types of people. You have the it's only preseason, relax people, and you have the oh my god, like the sky is falling people. I'm in the middle. Let me explain. First off, to the people who think the sky is falling, look, on offense, a lot of people didn't play preseason game number 3. Really hasn't played all of preseason. There's Jason Peters, Jay Ajayi, Corey Clement, Darren Sproles, Alshon Jeffrey, Nelson Aguilar, Mac Hollins, Carson Wentz. There's so many people on offense that have not been playing. And Doug Pearson's not game planning. Now, to some teams, that might mean different things. Doug Pearson, we are a good game plan team. Doug Pearson is good at game planning, so therefore, it means a lot. That takes a big element of us, a special element that we have, out of the picture. Because we're not game planning, alright? So, chill. Now, to the people who say it's only preseason. Look, the Eagles had 2 interceptions, 1 or 2 fumbles, a sack, safety, all in the first half. You cannot tell me that that's not concerning. You can't just sit there and say it's only preseason. Shut the fuck up. That's stupid. You're basically saying the offense is going out there. They're trying to look bad. They're not trying to look good. They're trying to look bad. Really? All right. So there's things that I guarantee Doug Pearson's not happy. I guarantee he's concerned, right? Now, why would the coaches be concerned if it's only preseason? Okay, so I fall in the middle. It is only preseason. There is a lot of things that we're not, that people ain't playing. Look at the defense. Now, Brandon Graham didn't play, and he's a starter, but overall, most of the starters played on defense. And what happened? 5 points. 2 of those points was a safety, so the defense had nothing to do with that. And the other 3 points, they got the ball already in field goal range. So in reality, the defense kind of gave up 0 in a way. And what's funny about that is we had so many turnovers and still basically gave up, in my mind, 0 points. That's incredible. Browns or not, that's incredible. Okay, so the side of the ball that had the starters, or at least the majority of them, was dominant. All right, so that's kind of how I look at it. All right, now, Nick Foles. It's like people don't know how to handle this. It's like we should be grateful for what he did. He won us a Super Bowl. I mean, he should forever be untouched. I'm not in that camp. No, I'm forever grateful. I think he should forever be a legend in this town. I think he should never have to buy a drink in this town again. But forever untouched? No. No. Nick Foles was straight up garbage this preseason. Garbage. Alright? He's not trying to be garbage. People think it doesn't count. So when the games count, we'll turn it on, boom. Really? So, against the Raiders, that counted. People say, oh, stop, it didn't really mean anything. Home field advantage was still very much on the line in that game. You don't take shit for granted in this sport. Okay, Nick Foles, you guys have got to understand, is a streaky quarterback. He's got unbelievable games, unbelievably good games. He's got unbelievably bad games. And there's not a lot in the middle. He's really up or really down. I'm sorry if this hurts for you guys to hear. You don't want that in a franchise quarterback. You don't want that as your full season starting quarterback. You don't want that. Because, real high. But then, now people will sit there and say, well, didn't he go 10-6 and was 27 touchdowns, 2 interceptions? Okay, that was a new Chip Kelly offense that was going to quickly start dying. Defenses figure shit out. They figure shit out. They figured out the Dallas Cowboys to some extent. You know, if we kept going back, think about it. What is Nick Foles successful at? One system. That RPO, Chip Kelly-ish type of, that's what he does well. Congrats, he does that well. Do you don't think defenses are going to start really keying in on that? Think about it. You can't just get away with just doing that. All right? When it comes to Nick Foles and Carson Wentz, there is no question which quarterback is the better quarterback. No question. Nick Foles is good in a particular scheme. Carson Wentz is the scheme. You guys have got to understand what Nick Foles is. Nick Foles is a streaky backup quarterback. When he's on, he's as good as anybody there is. When he's off, he's as bad as anyone there is. And he's particularly good in one system. So if he's a starter against Atlanta, it depends on what Nick Foles we get. And that's not necessarily a good thing you want to be saying. Like, what do you think? Who do you think is going to win? The Eagles or the Falcons? What's your prediction? Well, it depends on which quarter. It depends on how the quarterback plays and which Nick Foles shows up. I mean, you don't really want to have to say that. You want to have kind of, I mean, I'm not saying like a quarterback can't have a bad game. Even Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady even have bad games. But consistency. There's just no consistency with Foles. There isn't. Again, I'm going to say this again because I'm going to get a lot of comments. Forever grateful for what he did. He deserves to be a legend. And like I said, when he's on, he's as good as anyone in the league. But he has days where he's off too. And it's not just in unimportant games. He was kind of off against the Falcons. Let's be real. He was. Thank God the defense only allowed 10 points. Okay? We only had to score 15. Really, only had to score 14 to win that game. But, you know, like, thank God. He was not that great in that game. Not that great at all. Matter of fact, we might have lost if the guy who tried to make the interception, the ball didn't bounce off his knee and then Torrey Smith caught it. But you need breaks in football sometimes, so I'm not going to sit there and say what if. But, like, he played 2 really special games and 2 really important games. We need to stop thinking he's untouchable, though. Like, we need Carson Wentz back. Do I want him back if he's not clear? Here's the thing. My thing has been this. If he doesn't start until late October, or he starts week 1. That's how I've been at it. Because, okay, he doesn't start week 1, so he starts week 2 or week 3. What is a week or 2 going to do? He's already an 11-11s. Like, he's practicing. There's nothing like that. So he's getting the practice now. What is 1 or 2 weeks going to do? Truly. I mean, yeah, your tendons, it's already healed, so you're building strength in it right now. So yeah, in 1 or 2 weeks, it's still building strength through that 1 or 2 weeks, but not to a significant degree in 1 or 2 weeks. I don't see it. Like, if you're going to hold him out a game or 2, like, there's not a ton that's going to change in that time period. So if you're going to sit there and say, hold him out until mid to late October, okay, makes sense. Give him a month or 2 to heal. Makes sense. But a week or 2, it's just, I think at that point you're tempting an extra loss. And we saw what a difference can make. Do we beat Minnesota if we have to go to Minnesota? I know people sit there and say, oh, come on, we beat them like, what was it, 30, it was like 38, right there, 38-7. I'm actually looking at my, I have to look at that. Yeah, we beat them 38-7. So people be like, well, we'd have won no matter what. Not necessarily. That atmosphere at Link, I mean, it was just, things snowballed and then we steamrolled them, you know? I don't know if we beat them at Minnesota. You don't know these things. So one loss can mean a lot. And I tell you what, the NFC is so fucking stacked this year. We need every win we can get. So if you're going to start Wentz week 2 or week 3, I'd suggest just starting him week 1 and beat the Falcons. But if you don't start him week 1 could be a loss. Now, is there no coming back from that? No, I'm not saying that. But if Wentz plays, and I know he might be a little bit rusty with no game, I get it, but I predict week 1 as a win if Wentz plays. If he doesn't, I'm 50-50. Because again, which Foles are we going to get? We get the good one, we'll beat him. We get the bad one, could get ugly. So, literally, and it's likely, it's coming up likely that Foles will play, which surprised me because back when how I saw Wentz in the training camp, I thought for sure he'd play week 1 from what he looked like, but starting to think Foles might play, and if that's the case, I really don't know how to predict this one. It's fifth. I don't know. I'm not trying to be cowardly and back out of a prediction, but I don't know. So we're gonna wait. I will make a prediction that week, so we'll see. All right, guys, this is Eagles Truth. I'm out. Just want to get a video out there real quick. Just discuss the people that think the sky's falling. Chill. The people that think that it's just preseason. They're not trying to look bad. Okay, there are things to worry about. So stop. All right. So I'm kind of in the middle. Peace out.